In this video, I'm going to show you the first thing you should be doing to get your business online. Whether you're a brand new side hustle that you're just trying to get customers for, or you're a business who's been around for a little while, but you've done nothing online. This is the absolute first thing you should be doing before you get a website, before you do anything else. This is the first step you should be doing to get your business found online. Now I'm gonna walk you step by step how to get this done, but I'm also gonna show you some super powerful strategies that you can use to start to get customers faster than ever before. And even if you're just going online with your business, some strategies that you can implement to start to take over and start to get some of that traffic in your local area to bring more customers in. Now, if this video is helpful, please like and subscribe and comment below if you have any questions. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so just getting started here, we're gonna go to Google and we're gonna type Google My Business. And this is gonna bring up a page that just says something about getting started, Google My Business, Manage Now, and we're gonna wanna click straight through to Manage Now. Now, this step right here is the most important step of all, what you name your business. Now, your first inclination is probably just gonna type your business name, whatever it may be. But if you have a chance to sit down and think hard about this, I highly recommend to configure a business name that is exactly what you're offering in the town you're offering it. And of course, you can't just make up a fake business name. The reason being is it will make a huge difference with SEO and the amount of traffic you actually receive for your service. And like I said before, if you're a local service provider, you're competing in a much smaller field than nationwide. And so being a local service provider, you want to put in the most applicable or closest business name to what people are exactly going to type in Google. And of course, if that's not what it's called, if that's not what your business is called right now, don't stress out about that. I would highly recommend filing a DBA or a doing business as for this business name, because it will make the difference between you getting one customer through your Google My Business a week or 20 or 50. And that's a real life case, real life scenarios that I've seen over and over. So in this example, I'm just gonna pretend that I've got a, let's say a brand new web design agency in Atlanta, and I just wanna name it, let's say Atlanta Web Design. So I'm gonna just type that in. And as you can see, this is not a little known secret. This is a secret that a lot of people know, and they know it helps so much with SEO and with showing up in the search results. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just create this, create a business with Atlanta Web Design. And you just go to the next step. Once you've figured out what your business name is, just go to the next step and you're gonna choose the business category closest to what you're offering. So in this example, I did web design, so it's probably gonna be website designer, and that's all you need to do for now. Just do a little bit of research, and if you're not really sure what the category is of your business, then go to Google and actually just search web design near me. Or what I really like to do is another way is you can search in a big city and just see what the category is. So I'm just gonna search web design, let's go Philadelphia, PA, and just look in here and just see what people say. So it looks like these guys used web designer category. This is the category you're finding right next here to the stars. So it looks like for the most part they use website designer, and I think I would just stick with that. So that's kind of a little bit of an easy way to reverse engineer what category people are using. I've done that with many clients in the past. When I'm not really sure what the best category is, I'll just do a quick search and reverse engineer that. So going to the next, it's gonna ask you, do you wanna add a location customers can visit, like a store or an office? Now, this is very important, because say if you're a plumber, you're not gonna add your address. You wanna have it hidden. You don't want, for sure if you're operating out of like your home, you don't want people coming to your home. But on the other hand, if you actually have a storefront where people can come and visit, if you're a web design agency and you've got a place clients can come and sit down, share ideas and all that, you're gonna want to show your address. So here's where you make that decision. For this example, I'm gonna say no, because I'm assuming most web designers, and they're just starting out, they're just starting to get clients in the community, they're probably going to choose no, because they don't want people showing up to their house. Now, where do you serve your customers? Now, this is also a little bit of a tricky one, because it's gonna ask you some specific areas. And if you're a web designer, you're most likely going to say, well, I serve everybody, in the United States. I can help somebody in, California, Georgia, it doesn't really matter. But if you are a local service provider, you're gonna wanna put just your local area here. So I would recommend just choosing the biggest areas near you. So for example, I'm gonna do Atlanta, and you can click that, but then maybe somebody wants to go in Marietta, and I'm just gonna hit next, for the sake of time, but just add some of the biggest areas. It's pretty straightforward here. And again, you want to add your phone number and your current website URL. I'm assuming you do have a website. So add your website, and if you don't, just skip over, that doesn't matter. You can edit all of this later. And so do you want updates and recommendations for your business on Google? I'm gonna click yes. And now it's gonna ask you for your mailing address, and they're actually gonna send you a physical postcard to this address. So make sure whatever address you put in here, you actually have access to. So I'm just gonna put in an address that I am not technically going to have, so I'm not worried about that. I'm not gonna request this postcard, so no worries. I'm not gonna be sending a random postcard to somebody's address. But going forward here, it's gonna ask you for a contact name, and it's gonna send this postcard by mail. In the rare event, it'll offer to text this code, but that is a few and far between, and you most likely need to have the website verified in your search console and going from there. So I'm just gonna put my name, and then you'll click mail. So I'm also going to click verify later because I want to go through a little bit. I don't want to mail this postcard, of course, because that's not an address I control, but I do want to go through and make some comments on some additional steps you should be taking from the SEO standpoint and how to correctly get your business on Google to get the most traffic. So I just added a couple services here, and I'm not going to get too crazy, but you want to list as many as possible. For a business I have, we've got 30 services offered, and I offered every variation possible of a keyword, what somebody's going to search. So again, back to the SEO thing, just like the business title, you want to think in your head, what are people going to search for this? And so in here, I'm typing exactly what I think people might be searching, where I want them to find my business. And you just come in here, quickly add your hours, not a big deal. Now this add messaging feature, you can do this if you want. I'm not a fan of it. It's when messages get sent to you through your native Google My Business app on your phone, and it typically is oftentimes overlooked. So I'm just gonna turn this off because I don't wanna miss messages from a customer if they go that route rather than texting me. So here in the business description, I highly recommend typing this out as well. Do not stuff a bunch of keywords in here though, because it will end up rejecting it. So just go through and just talk about yourself a little bit, who you are. And on this, I would highly recommend trying to build a relationship with somebody looking at your business on Google. So try to just develop a little bit of a personality, a little bit of a relationship here. And so here in this next part, add a couple photos, pretty self-explanatory. They make it very easy. Just add a couple photos of your work. I highly recommend adding a picture of yourself. Just builds, again, that little personality, that personal touch. And your business profile is almost ready, so you're almost on Google here. And once you continue, it's gonna then bombard you with the possibilities of running ads for sure once you've logged in a few times. So I would come in here, and once you have that pin in your hand, you can come in here and it'll ask you for that, and you come in here and post that 4-digit code, and you will be then verified. So here I've got a very partially completed profile. So I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna fill out the description, add a logo, whatever you have. Just try to get this to 100%. It helps every little bit with SEO. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about SEO because it's such a widely overlooked aspect of your Google My Business listing. And 99% of people, for sure local business owners, they literally don't do any SEO at all. Their Google My Business listing just magically appears in maps because they're doing business in the community, they're getting recommendations, and maybe somebody goes online to leave them a review, a customer, and they have no business listing, and it just gets suggested. So if you come in and you do SEO well and you pay attention to your Google My Business listing and you upload as much as possible when it comes to photos, answering to reviews, answering questions, you will be light years ahead of the competition for sure in your local area. So just really quickly a walkthrough on how to use these. Posts is a feature where you can make a post, and it's just like Facebook, but it's for your business. It'll just make a post, and when people find your business online, they'll see your latest post. So you can just do something really simple here. It doesn't have to be complicated. We haven't found that this really helps a lot with SEO, but it still tells Google that you're doing more than your competitors are if you regularly post, because most people, quite frankly, don't do it, for sure in the local service space. So it looks like here we've got the info tab. You can come through here and fill this out again. This is just more access to your actual information. Insights is really helpful. Once you're verified, it'll show you different it'll show you different metrics, like for example, how many people have seen your listing, how many people have made phone calls, how many people have requested driving directions if you've got that address shown. You'll be able to access your reviews as well through this portal, and this is where you reply to your Google My Business reviews. Your Google My Business is hands down the most important review platform on the internet for your business. So you could have reviews on literally 0 other platforms, but if you have a really beefed out review platform and you got say 50 to 100 reviews on your Google My Business listing, you're gonna be light years ahead of the competition, even if they have a handful on Google, handful on Facebook, handful on Yelp. Google is really what people look at. It's what really matters. The messaging tab here is the one I recommended turning off. I don't recommend trying to talk to customers through this. It's just one more messenger to check, and I don't know about you, but that's not what I want in my life. So here in the photos, this is where you can upload photos. And if you had one SEO strategy and you only did this and nothing else offline, you didn't do any off-page website SEO, you didn't do any link building, if you just came in here and posted regularly on a daily basis, posted photos, or every other day maybe, and posted photos, and you got consistent reviews, you hounded your customers for reviews, and you replied to those reviews, that would be one of the best strategies you could possibly do. I have an example in Dallas, Texas. There was a guy that did mobile dent repair, and it was just one guy, one man, one show, and he did nothing when it came to SEO but get reviews. He got consistent reviews every single day, and he uploaded a picture of every single job he completed. He had almost 200 reviews, and his next closest competitor, which was like a really large franchise, his next closest competitor had between 50 and 80 views, if I remember correctly. And this one-man show was outranking everybody else in the Dallas area. He was ranking #1 for dent removal, mobile dent repair, and just tremendous. And that was just from consistent photo uploads and consistent reviews. So that's pretty much it. You can go through and add your products and services. There is a website that they let you have on here. It's pretty cheap. I don't recommend it. It doesn't get you anywhere when it comes to getting traction online. It just kind of automatically builds out the site for you. And if you have absolutely no website starting out, definitely go for it. But it's not really customizable, and it's pretty default. So once you get that postcard, put that code in there, and you've got a live Google My Business listing, and you can start showing up like the big dogs in your area when somebody searches your keyword. This is hands down the most important area for you to show your business online and start getting customers right now.